Good morning. Back to walking and talking. I wanted to share something on my heart today. I think we've all been through a break in relationship, whether that's through a friend, a coworker, a family member, something that's extremely difficult. And oftentimes we don't know what to do about that. And we just have to let God work, right, in those situations. And sometimes it's healthy to reconcile and other times it's not. But there's a story in Genesis about reconciliation with Jacob and his brother Esau. And if you remember, Jacob stole Esau's birthright. And that was wrong, right? It was wrong. It was evil. It was horrible. He should have never done it. And time goes on and he ends up knowing that he's going to run into Esau. And can you imagine how he feels? Gosh, I've wronged my brother. I know this was not right. And he's concerned that he's going to, Esau would want to kill him. And so he prepares these gifts and sends them ahead. And then what happens completely surprises Jacob, because Esau receives him. And in fact, he hugs him and they embrace and they start crying. And can you imagine that feeling of, gosh, you're in the wrong, you've done something wrong, and that person receives you and gives you grace. Isn't that an example of what God does for us in our lives, is he gives us grace when we're in the wrong. And so Jacob has all these gifts for Esau, and Esau says, what is all this stuff? Why are you giving me these gifts? And Jacob is so overwhelmed by the situation that he says, seeing your face is like seeing the face of God. So could you imagine if we could all get to that place where, I'm sure all of us have experienced some break in relationships, some heartache, some really tough situation, and would love reconciliation but don't even know how it's possible. Well, you know what? If we just humble ourselves and we forgive and we give grace, just imagine what God can do. And so God tells us to pray for our enemies. And even if that person you might consider that person an enemy of yours, God can turn any heart. And so I just want to encourage you to, if you have those breaks in relationships, those really heartbreaking challenges going on, God is a God of reconciliation, the God of redemption. He is the great healer, and he can do anything. So just surrender the situation to him and have grace, humility, forgiveness. Pray for that person and watch God move. Have a good day.